Yo, welcome. This is a affiliation, no cool points, fucking collaboration production thing.
Yeah.
Hi. We
Hi.
are. I'm Hugh, and this is our
Test
new
run.
thing, right? So we're gonna talk about like culture and music and entertainment, and then also get into helping y'all understand how to navigate your way through some of this stuff as young entertainers and young influencers who are trying to get into a space that's clearly saturated and there's no money left. But
That's
we
right.
find a way to make a penny or two,
That's right.
a very small penny, half a penny. And we're here to talk about it. So there's a lot of stuff on the docket. We were actually chatting about Hot 97 in New York falling apart, old
Mhm.
media kind of finally seeing its day, its reckoning. Um,
Yeah.
you know, what were you about to say? We were just talking about it, and like, so they got rid of the morning show with Ebro, Laura
Yeah.
Stiles, and uh, is it Paul Rosenberg? No, it's Paul
Yeah. Rose.
Rosenberg.
That's
John,
isn't that Eminem's manager?
yeah,
Um,
no, what is
uh, Peter.
Peter
Peter
Rosenberg?
Rosenberg.
I can't.
Yeah.
Yo, I'm friends with
Sorry,
him on
Peter.
Facebook too. Sorry, Pete.
Yeah. And you're a legend too, Peter.
Peter.
So sorry that we didn't
Sorry, Peter
remember which
Rosenberg.
Rosenberg. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, man. Like, it's interesting because this is like maybe 5 or 6 years overdue, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Um, Everybody else has found another gig outside of what they're doing on there. I know Rosenberg has like some podcast stuff, and I think he works at WWE and
Yeah. He
ESPN.
works the wrestling.
Yeah, and Ebro obviously has Apple Music. Laura Stiles, I don't know what she does, but she's definitely probably got something on the side. Like, what do you think about this? It's been like there for pretty much most of my life. I
Yeah.
grew up
Most
on
of
Hot
mine too.
97, not the morning show. It held me down, Ebro in the morning, when I was 10 years ago when I was living in New York. So,
Um, I think that it's deserved
oh,
for a myriad of reasons, right? Number one, the ecosystem of radio in New York has notoriously held many, 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 many people back. Not only new artists and
hmm
the process of submitting and getting your music played on radio and broken in radio, right? It's also gate kept from possible on air talent and personalities. These people have held their positions for 20 years and they have not allowed new blood, new opportunities, new people to get coffee. So I think that it is and is indicative of just everything that you know it just signals everything that's wrong with the current ecosystem and the way that the internet has allowed there to be more entrepreneurs, more millionaires in spaces that were gate kept for 20, 30, 40 years. They don't, people like academics, people like Joe Budden, all of these people that have been ostracized from particular industries, but then have been able to create their own lanes using their own blood, sweat, and tears, right? Not having to answer anyone, play nice if they don't want to, do deals they don't want to do. And I think that Ebro and the rest of them, I mean, they have just been responsible for the lack of growth out of New York City for 30 years, in my opinion. I feel every other music market outside of New York has done fine because of the willingness of the change of guard, right? The
hmm
willingness of sharing resources, sharing context, creating opportunities. And yeah, if you don't, there is no legacy if you don't pass on the opportunity. So, unfortunately, Rosenberg, I like Rosenberg. Rosenberg definitely uh, gives opportunity, creates opportunity, shares resources. He is not like Ebro. But unfortunately, when you got to cut the head off of the snake, everything else has to go right. So I'm not a fan of Ebro. I've seen Ebro talk nasty to artists, talk nasty to label
He's a
heads, talk
gatekeeper,
nasty
man.
to
He's like Elliot
yeah.
Wilson, man.
And there's no and there's only room for collaboration in
Yeah.
this day and age. There's only room for partnerships in this day and age. And recognizing that value is 50-50 or even 60-40 or 70-30, but you still need to share the opportunity for everyone to be able to eat. And Ebro has been the number one gatekeeper, for many, many years.
Mm.
And I'm just done with that practice of business. personally.
Yeah, I feel you. I mean, these dudes. I mean, they're getting old anyway, and they don't talk about anything good. They're not entertaining anymore. Like
Yeah.
for the demographics that listen to, like they used to cater to the youth, and you're spot on when you're saying like how it's changed in a way, and the music is programmed from someone way higher than them. So you're
Yeah,
hearing stuff like people who commute to work in that market are looking for, if they're listening to music, they want diversity. Back in the day, man, they used to play reggae, hip hop, all types of stuff within that morning slot. The DJs used to drop old school. I think they still
hmm,
kind of they think they still have old school hour and reggae and all that stuff. So those little niche shows, but and then obviously like Funkmaster Flex, but like a lot of it is just not listenable anymore since people could curate their own music now, right?
right,
You don't want to hear a DJ bring a record back 9,000 times,
Yeah.
right?
right.
And do all that. You don't want to hear that. Like Flex dropping. Remember when he dropped the bomb? Y'all were old enough for that shit where he's dropping bombs on that damn Kanye and Jay-Z song
Yeah,
for
bro, that
20,
shit ran like
like
a
it was like
thousand
40
times.
minutes. Dog, I was watching that shit on YouTube when he was doing it, and I was like, yo, I don't even like the song anymore after. That's one of my favorite songs from them too. And this
It
motherfucker over
was
here
Otis.
dropping
It's Otis, right?
Otis, yeah, he was dropping like 9,000 bombs and new exclusive, funk flex, all this shit. Like it's cool. It made a moment, but li- listening back is kind of cringy in a sense because only a person like myself, maybe I don't know, Mike, you weren't around for this. You were probably a little younger. You probably like in junior high when that happened. But like it was so fucking like when we heard it, we're like, we're used to this, right?
Right.
And guys like you being from Richmond, both of you being from Richmond, actually, like that was like, oh shit, this New York, that's cool. Like everybody just thinks it's cool because the biggest DJ on the planet's
Yeah.
premiering the biggest record on the planet from two of the biggest artists on the planet. You know, now it's like artists go to Instagram, they'll sit down with academics, they'll sit down with the Breakfast Club and have like it's not like a gassing up situation either. They're trying to always get them to be more open and relatable rather than
Right.
when's your album coming out? Yo,
All
spit
this
some
hype.
bars.
Yep.
Who's on the single? Let me suck you off in the corner. Like it's not yeah, the game's a little different. And that's why I think
Yeah.
it's a big reason why artists don't go up to radio stations anymore because they don't gas them up like they used to. They gas anybody. Vanilla Ice, whoever the label said whoever's coming down, they sit there and like, what's your album gonna be like? Blah blah blah. So
Well,
this
Well,
is different,
the
man.
reality is that it's not about the music anymore.
Yeah,
it's showing
yeah,
up.
pretty much.
That's right. It's about the branding, the personality, the relatability. It is, and exactly. And as we always discuss all the time, right? Like in our personal kind of affiliation meetings, how it's no longer enough just to handle one part of the funnel, right? Radio only held one part of the funnel. It is the
Mm-hmm.
actual music. But now that you have these streaming services and all of these
Yeah.
Patreons and all these other ways to distribute music and connect with your fans, you don't really need other people's audiences when because back in the day you really couldn't build your audience, right? You had to pull 5% of your audience from Power, 5% of your audience from Hot 97, 5% of the radio audience from DC. That made
Mm-hmm.
up your audience. Now you get on Instagram and do it yourself. Granted, it's not as fast, right? But it was fast back in the day because nobody really had there was not that many distractions. There wasn't 50 million artists at one time. In one quarter, you might have 20 artists drop tops from all the labels. Now, that same pool of artists is competing with 50,000 independent guys that are dropping every day on YouTube, every day on TikTok, every day on Snapchat. I mean, it's just people have become desensitized to the one role that radio got really, really right, right? Now it's like, I don't need to get berated, asked about my sexuality, rage baited into racist conversations, figure out who I'm, people figure out who I'm voting for, figure out what chick I had, an affair with. It's just like they don't see the need in that kind of outreach in this day and age, right? Because
Yeah.
now they're in more control, right? And then you go to the guys you still fuck with, the LA leakers, and there's certain different radio, right? Not traditional radio. You still, XM radio and Shade 45 and all this other
Yeah,
stuff.
but they just
But
play
like
music and some
they just play
commercials.
music. That's right. It gets a
You
couple
get
of
that from
interviews and whatever.
Spotify. Yeah.
Exactly. And it's like, the value proposition has changed. And I think that is, Buddy trying to say it's all about his political views and all that. Maybe, right? Maybe. But that is only maybe 15%. I'll tell you guys a quick story. So one of my homies, he kept showing up late to Amazon, and then he got his ass fired. He didn't get his ass fired because he was late to Amazon. He got his ass fired because now it's time to do cuts. And because you were late, you're now on the chopping block to get fired. Same situation. You may not have gotten fired because of your political views, but that may have been partly of the reason, other than the fact that your ratings are just not where they used to be, right? So it's like, we got to make cuts anyway. The ratings aren't where they used to be. Yeah, and the guy doesn't really lean the way that we want him to lean for our investors moving forward. I'll get rid of him. But that's not all of it, brother. You're trying to be a martyr for your political opinions, which again, I wasn't there. I don't know, right? But I would assume it's more so a business decision of the overall landscape changing and your value proposition changing versus your political opinions. Because I didn't hear Buddy on the radio talking about his political opinions. I could be wrong. I was never like a recent fan of Ebro in the mornings as of late. However, it's like, Buddy, come on, man. You got the Breakfast Club putting their political opinions every single day out, every single day, and they're getting ready to get renewed. So I don't know, bro. That Mayweather money looking funny in the light. You know what I'm saying? That's all I got to say about that. You know what I'm saying?
Did you see the leaked DMs between Drake and Ebro?
I did, man. Drake needs to be careful talking like that.
Drake does?
Yeah, Ebro talking like that.
No, I mean the reality is though is that
I'd say the same fucking thing. Wait, let me put this on the damn screen. Ebro needs to shut the fuck up. Like, this is. Oh, go ahead, Mike. Sorry.
Listen, right. People my age and younger do not give a fuck about Ebro. That's the reality. I can't name one time I woke up in the morning and was like, "This is Ebro's opinion." Wow, that really made sense. Because half the time,
funny part, yeah, you're absolutely right. But this is what kills me about what Ebro. I'm assuming he saw some late night post by Drake. Stupid sneaker ads covering it, whatever. But basically, he says, "Yo, health is wealth. Go get some sleep." Blah 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 blah. Health is wealth and some real shit. And then Drake responds back, "Die slow." Wait, here you go. Die slower, pussy.
We got some shit for you.
We got some shit for you. Yeah. So, obviously, and he says, "Oh, relax. You salty because you lost to Kendrick." Okay, it has nothing to do with him losing to Kendrick. It has everything to do by if the nigga was taking a nap in the middle of the afternoon, you know what Ebro be in his DM saying? "Get up and grind harder, nigga. This is why you not Jay-Z." That's what he's gonna say. Because Jay pulled them same hours. Yeah, was he talking to Jay like that when Jay was out at the club at 5 a.m, going right to baseline and making records with Freeway in them?
No.
That was the era. Oh, these guys.
And we're talking about the biggest artist in the world, arguably.
Yeah, and I'm like, okay, so Drake is on his grind per se. He doesn't sleep. Fuck that. So what if it does something to his health? Gives a shit. He got the best doctors. Fucking like this guy doesn't even. He's just trying to like just be in his shit, and then try to get a reaction from him. Then he goes, "Oh, because you lost to Kendrick." He didn't lose to Kendrick, number one. Now, anybody look if the machine decided, there's a whole other conversation what I wanted to get into or want to get into later, but like when the machine is against you, like it is against Drake, doesn't matter what you fucking do. Yes, Kendrick made a catchy song. I had a conversation with Alex about this yesterday, our friend over there at Sony, RCA, Alamo, wherever the fuck he works. And he's like, well, that song was good. I was like, it's a song about pedophiles, bro. And it's a diss record. And without a machine behind that, it would have not gotten even, it shouldn't have gotten radio play number one. Like, if you're really talking about it, you're calling a man a pedophile. Did Hit 'Em Up get played on the radio like that? And all this stuff, he's saying he slept with the gun.
Probably on the West Coast, it probably got a lot of play.
No, it didn't. That thing hardly charted because they didn't
play
that.
It was more like a mixtape. It was a mixtape. I think it was more of a mixtape push back then.
Well, yeah, but still, the record. I mean, look, it's a street classic. It's Hit 'Em Up, right? Was it a record that should have gotten play on the radio? No. Neither is Not Like Us. Yes, it's catchy. So is Hit 'Em Up. But it had a great beat, so it Hit 'Em Up, whatever. but the record is not suited for radio.
Okay,
agree with that.
what about back to back though?
So that's a banger, but it's a diss record, and he didn't do a video for it.
But
he
listen,
didn't promote it. I know it's a different era, it's a different time. We're talking 10 years removed from back to back.
bro,
That was 10 years
Back
before
to
Not Like
Back,
Us. I think it's better than Not Like Us.
bro. That shit had the clubs upside down.
Oh, I know.
For at least a year or two.
I know, but it did get play on the radio, but it didn't fit the programming because Not Like Us as catchy and all that stuff. It's a record about Drake. It's a diss record talking about pedophiles, has obscene language, all this stuff. None of this stuff fits radio. But
Drake Drake is very good at making records that could be diss records still commercial.
Yeah.
But what he's saying is the machine bent its rules to format and help push this Not Like Us record because the machine is behind Kendrick now. He's the chosen one. The reality is neither one of them are the chosen one. I mean, the Weeknd just did Billy. Come on, man. So it's like y'all are over here fighting over crumbs. What
Crumbs?
you know?
What you talking about?
I mean,
it's pride, bro.
These dudes.
We're men.
I mean, yeah. Okay, fine. Pride, not a
What
problem.
are you talking about? Say pride.
Not a problem.
You jump
I'm
out
saying
the window
crumbs
over
as far
some
as
pride.
the
I
ma-
seen you leave.
I'm talking about crumbs as far as the machine, right? The machine is keeping these two entangled in this back-to-back issue of this one's a pedophile and this one's a abuser and whatever the case is. Meanwhile, the Weeknd is in the back selling his catalog for $1
Oh, so I mean, they all
I'm
can
just
do
saying.
that shit.
I'm just saying that. Well, of course, right? I mean,
He's leveraging his catalog. He's not selling it. He's
leveraging. I mean,
But that's because
right.
rap don't sell the same way that pop sells.
But do we think that that's what they tried to do? Do we think that this was it just had an adverse reaction when Buddy started taking everybody to court?
No, he has.
Probably.
He's well within his means to do that shit. They tried to defame him. Somebody told you a pedophile and shit, and they lied on you and put it at the public sphere, performed at the Super Bowl with that shit.
I mean, I remember. Didn't Jay-Z sue Nas?
No, I don't think so.
Yes, he did. Yes, he did.
Oh, he did. I don't know. Maybe that's good. He's smart. I mean,
I'm gonna look it up.
Nas is arguably winning in the business space a little bit more, but yeah, maybe he did. I don't know. I don't follow that shit. I don't think he did. And not, like if he. Not over the rap beef. If it might have been over some other shit, but I swear they've done they patched it, pieced it up. I mean,
okay, so this is what they're saying: the blah, 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 rivalry, blah blah. There were rumors that Columbia Records worried about defamation claims from Jay-Z due to Nas's harsh lyrics, leading to the revisions of Ether. They made Nas revise Ether. 2000. That's what it was. It was something like that. But I don't think Jay-Z, let me just clear that up. I don't think Jay-Z actually Nas.
Yeah, I don't think he did. Maybe they threatened it or some bullshit. Or maybe
I think
no, Nas was going crazy back then. He was all over the ring. He could have made that shit up because he made up a bunch of lies when he was running.
Oh man, I don't believe that Nas would make up some lies though, little brother.
Did you ever listen to them, Angie Martinez, and when he was talking to Steph?
Yeah, I remember he was crashing out. He was crashing out.
Yeah, he was making up shit, talking about Cameron and Dipset and Nori and everybody, man. He apologized for a lot of that shit. He's like, yeah, part of the beef. But nah, like the Kendrick shit, yo. Look. Number one, look, I'm gonna be upfront with y'all. You know, I'm not the biggest Kendrick fan or music. Some of his music's good, some of it sucks to me. Whatever. I don't listen to it on a regular basis. I'll be upfront about that. Drake, yes, I worked with Drake back in the day. I've lived on his music for a while. I lived on music that other people wrote for him. So it's all more or less like, all around great entertainer to me and does what he does and been smart at business and everything. What they tried to do after all this stuff, man, it's like you number one, you put a nail in the coffin of like mainstream hip hop because now your biggest guy who was propping up the whole industry for the last decade now does not want to work with none of y'all.
Yeah,
fuck y'all.
I mean, he messed the ecosystem up. They messed the ecosystem up. With
look who's popping. Look who's popping right now.
Nobody.
Well, no, Lotto did some numbers. You know who still fucks with Lotto though? Drake. 21 Savage just dropped a new record. Now everybody's saying that song with him and Drake sucks. I like it. It's
No,
actually
that
pretty
album
good.
is hard, bro. That
I
album is
mean,
phenomenal.
It is dope. I
I,
listened to it the
I,
other day. It's pretty dope.
I didn't listen to the full album. I did listen to Mr. Recoup. I will say, in comparison to the things that they've worked on together previously, it's not, to me, it's not the vibe that I would like from the two of them. However,
It's a different
I
record,
do
bro.
like, I know, I understand that. I think when people heard Young Thug and Gunna for so long, they have a particular expectation of the sound that they're working on, right? The sound that's exclusively them. So I think when I heard that record, I was like, it's cool, but to me, it's nothing. It's nothing like their previous collabs.
I
Like
mean,
as far as like, what's the fucking subject matter? Like, niggas is just
they're just
rapping.
spitting. Yeah, you do that sometimes. The energy's
I
different
mean,
on
yeah,
different
but it's
tracks.
like, why waste? Why? I don't know. Niggas need hits right now, bro. I just don't understand why you'd waste a Drake feature for niggas to just be rapping.
They just
Just be
felt
rapping.
like putting some.
because
Yeah.
21 Savage owns all his own music and is making
Right,
a
but why
lot of
not
fucking
use?
money
Why
and
not use
doesn't
the
need a hit.
opportunity? But who doesn't need a hit? First off,
21.
let's go ahead
Well,
and
it's not
kill that
about
right
hits.
now.
It's more about look. They're creatives. They're in a great space to do whatever the fuck they want. They don't have to make hits. The record to me is perfectly fine. Is it something I'm going to listen to over and over again? No. But I got other 21 Savage and Drake records I can listen to over. Remember,
Yeah,
they're making money in perpetuity. It doesn't matter. They
true.
can fuck around and throw out another record tomorrow.
Mm.
That's a banger. And who says they don't have a banger in the thing? Does it have to be up to par every time for your
I
taste?
mean,
Or
what are we
listen,
doing here? I mean, I'm just trying to figure out. Are we trying to sell records, or are we just making music to make music?
I don't know.
Because
Oh, by the
he's
way, try to
projected to
stay in
do.
frame.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
He's
So, you know.
projected to do 53,000 his first week. Why are
Okay.
we not trying to do 100,000? Why are we
You
not?
don't have to.
Because
No,
he
you
doesn't
don't
have
have
to.
to.
He owns
He's not
everything.
promoting. He did a couple. What he did 1 or 2 podcasts already, and he doesn't have to do shit.
Bro, his splits are 70-30 in his favor with his label.
Yeah, he don't have to do nothing.
All he has to do is put out fucking music, bro.
And he's still making millions of dollars off the old records that people are still playing. You gotta understand that's the way it works nowadays, man. The catalog. If you're still living off of this stuff, the catalog's important. If you're a you know whatchamacallit, what am I? If you're not that good, then yeah, touring and stuff, and that's more important because people want to see you, I guess. But
21
he
Savage
has the
can
luxury
do
of doing
whatever the
both.
fuck he wants,
Yeah,
whenever he wants,
yeah,
because
they're
I
making
don't know,
money.
guys.
You don't
I
know.
feel like I feel like we're
I think
moving
you
the
just
goalpost here.
no. I don't think we're moving. I
No,
personally don't think the game
'cause-
is
I
different.
mean, if we are looking at if we are now treating every artist according to their individual goals and not what the music industry is based on, then we're moving the goalpost.
What's the music industry based on again? Sales,
It is of
right?
selling records. So why
Okay.
are we sitting on this stream saying that a man doesn't have to have a hit and he doesn't have to sell records?
Because he's
because
still
his splits are different and he's
And he-
making the money.
Him
and he's still
okay.
selling records. He's still selling
Bro,
catalog from 5 years
56,000
ago.
first week is
10 years
good
ago.
nowadays.
No, he
But
got
he's not
records that are still
independent though. But he's not independent. 56,000 would be good if somebody's on fucking Mad Decent. We're not. That's not what we're talking about. We're talking about someone
There
that's
was
on a
zero
major record
promo.
label.
They just dropped this record, and he sold the equivalent of 56. So that means people are listening. So he's still relevant.
That's great. It's not bad. That's not bad. I'm not saying that it's bad. I'm not saying it's bad
The
because
rollout
Mind
was
you,
one
can't
record.
this is
They
no
threw out-
rollout. He
Yeah, there
did
was
no rollout.
They dropped
Right.
what? They dropped the song with
Right.
Drake, and then next thing he does a podcast, and then the record's out.
And a great,
That was
yeah,
it.
that podcast was very good too.
Yeah, man.
I mean,
think you
of
hate,
course,
you know?
but that's what I'm saying. And
All right,
then
Kendrick.
I'm not hating. No, 'cause I like 21. I like 21. I just don't like how we're trying to
Can
act
21
like he
say
still
can,
wasn't strategic.
Can 21 say the N-word still? Or he's not allowed to, Kendrick? I'm gonna call you Kendrick for now.
I'm just saying. I'm just
messing
saying.
with
I just feel like he's still being strategic about his rollout, mentioning 6ix9ine, right? Mentioning 6ix9ine, knowing that you're going to get a response immediately,
from 6ix9ine.
knowing that, yeah, it's
No,
like
they was beefing at
you're
some point, right?
acting.
Or he was beefing with him.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
they
Pusha T and
he
them
don't
did
like
the same
rats.
thing with Travis.
Yeah, whatever. Who cares?
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Because they care about getting the biggest splash for the first week. We're not going to sit here and act like someone that is baiting. You stay silent for 8 months to hold your interview for when your album drops, so you can still get the commotion, the reactions, the spreading, and the visibility. But now we're sitting here acting like it's okay for an artist that did 180,000 his last time to 53, and it's not a problem because he gets a 70-30 split.
No, the
I just
reality is
That's
all
not-
these rappers that were stars are now growing up,
Wait,
and
the
there's
record
no more
dropped.
stars.
The record dropped on Friday,
Mhm.
so it's still not through the cycle. I mean,
Yeah,
it's,
no,
so
I know
hasn't even
it's
been-
you're talking first
projected.
week.
It's projected.
Oh,
It's
that's
projected.
the projection. Oh, okay, I thought that was like the real because I'm pretty sure you
No.
could track it in real time, but they.
And he might do better. I'm not no 21 Savage here. I like 21 Savage. What I don't like is how cats are using his great favorable deal as a reason to not care about visibility. I don't think that's a thing. To me, I
I
think
don't think 20
you have a Drake
Savage has
record.
ever really cared about being visible.
Well, then he wouldn't have done an album with Drake. What's the whole point of doing that?
No, it's not about big. No, they're actually friends.
Of course, but that still
So,
comes with visibility, though. That
This
still
ain't
comes
like
with
R. Kelly,
opportunity.
Jay-Z shit. This is like they're actually.
That came with visibility.
That's why Jay did it, but it was not a
The same
good.
reason why
good
21 did
decision.
it. That might still be my man, but that don't mean that I'm not gonna cash in on the visibility. It comes with
Oh,
being
of
my man.
course.
Because if not, I just
think
do
Future
without
did.
a warning too.
Future
You
did
got to
the
think
same
about it
thing.
like this, right? How much does it cost to buy a number one? Because we all here know you can buy a number one. How much does it
Who
cost?
knows?
Ask
Who
Kendrick's
knows?
people because it costs a
I'd
lot.
say about
like,
$250.
they spend a lot of
$250 on
money to get
average,
that
right?
shit
More
to.
than that. No,
Dog.
more than that now.
Okay, well,
250
let's-
million, you said?
No,
250,000.
250,000.
It's
Oh,
probably,
no,
it's
it's
probably
way
half a
more than that.
million to
No,
a million.
Yeah.
I seen in like smaller
But
artists.
that's
with
my point.
6-figure
Why
marketing
would
budgets.
someone that has a 70-30 split in their favor drop the bag just to say, oh, I went number one? Oh, I sold this many units. Because
Yeah.
it doesn't fucking matter to him.
I mean, I don't think necessarily it's about him going number one. But I do think the whole naming of the album, what happened to the streets, you're trying to get into a particular algorithm. So your voice, your authority is being heard and respected in a particular lane. He wants to swerve into the conversations about ratting. Who a rat? Whack 100. He say a rat. Oh, Max B a rat. Oh, Pooh Shiesty a rat. All these niggas is rats. Gunna. This, that,
You said
you're
Max
trying
B's
to
a rat?
still- That's what Whack 100 says.
I mean, he's not a respectable figure.
I don't
any-
keep up with who's a rat. His brother also said he ratted on him. Max B's brother said that he ratted on him and said
The
whatever.
word rat
Again,
is so played out.
I don't keep up with that
I mean,
side
they're
of
just
it. What I will
upstanding
say-
citizens.
Yes, I am an upstanding citizen.
I don't even know what snitching is anymore because of the internet.
Well, you're not in the streets.
The rules keep changing for sure.
If you're not in the
but
streets, you don't.
I think I don't think he's a niche act, but I do think he wants to be held within a particular regard in a particular conversation and keep me out of the rest of it. Right? I think that's kind of his positioning. That's the reason why he did the Big Bank Perspectives of Big Bank, right? Is to clear up his position on Drake Kendrick, his position on Gunna Thug, his position on Lil Durk and NBA YoungBoy, and just trying to he's like a mediator, like a street mediator.
And
21
a
cents.
street mediator isn't going to sell 100,000 units first week.
I mean, and I don't know, and that's fine. I don't necessarily care if he did or he didn't, but I just don't want to
Listen,
sit here.
he's
Why is that
not
so
coming
important?
out the same way Pooh Shiesty.
It's not.
So, but no,
see,
they do.
Pooh
You know
Shiesty-
they make. Go ahead.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Oh.
Yo, wait,
Oh no, I'm saying that these guys make money off of other things like social media, endorsement and brand deals. It's all subtle money that's always being made. Music is secondary to that. They could give away this music for free. Like he could get a copyright strike for sampling shit all over the place that he wasn't supposed to sample, still put it out. Record labels more accountable to that than he is because that's where their money comes from. His money, the music is just secondary as a promotional tool for them to keep them relevant, to keep them in people's ears. So that's why like Drake and them don't care about. I mean, look, some people I think Drake takes pride in his music, but a lot of these artists now don't necessarily care about the music as much as they care about the other things. But then there's some people like I think Future cares. I think Cardi B definitely cares. Her album was phenomenal, by the way. I don't understand why it's not doing the numbers it should.
Whose album?
Cardi B.
Cardi's album did well though, I think.
I mean, they boosted the numbers with the
Of
two extra
Yeah, they
singles.
boosted it with the singles.
I'm pretty
but
sure it went double wood after that. No, but it's a good record, and I listened to it 3 times. But nah, like going back to 21, he's in a different space as an artist, man. Like once you hit that elite status, yeah, you want to like if you're in that competition, the rat race, and want to be number one, like
Right.
Drake and all that
It's
stuff.
different.
Yeah,
Right.
but,
I get that.
but these guys are always like Drake will always be number one coming out the gate whenever he drops something. So that's what I'm like 21. He's gonna be number one next week probably because there's no holiday releases. Oh, that's another thing. We're in the holidays too. Mariah Carey
Hey,
runs this shit. So
I'm saying Pooh Shiesty number one
Listen,
on Apple though.
exactly. Shout out
Above
to Pooh.
Mariah.
I don't think anybody's dropping until February.
Yeah, there's nothing really coming out till.
No, I think Max B and French Montana is supposed to be dropping in January. I think.
Well,
Oh, that's. I mean that's after the season. So
And I think French is dropping through. Let's see, Coke. What is it? A Coke Wave.
but again, we're talking about an artist, French Montana, that don't need this shit.
Okay, but what about ASAP Rocky? I just seen Don't Be Dumb. Yeah, so they're dropping January 9th.
He don't need
French
music
Montana,
either.
Moby.
He's killing the fashion shit. He
Yeah,
getting a dumb bag off that fashion shit. And he married Rihanna. She a
Yeah,
billionaire.
but what that got to do with his record deal? What all of that got to do with owing somebody albums? What does any of that have to do with anything?
They'll get the
That's what
album.
I'm saying. We're confusing people's personal goals with the business that they are doing. Yes, ASAP Rocky does not need to drop an album, but he owes somebody an album. So an album is coming out. Cardi B didn't need to drop another album, but she owed somebody an album. So an album came out. So let's not misconstrue the artist's personal situation and how well they are doing as an individual versus what they signed on that paper and who they owe a project to. So, with that being said, we just saw the album cover for Don't Be Dumb. I don't know if that's the album cover. Tim Burton is involved. Is this a movie? I don't know what's happening. And he's still
wait,
in
what
the tweet,
album?
he said, "Oh, don't be dumb. Oh, you didn't see this? Oh,
Who's
pull up,
who's what
that's
artist?
ASAP Rocky."
Oh, that's the name of the album. I thought it was something else.
No, it's Don't Be Dumb. And again, he says,
Shout out to
Don't Be
RCA.
Dumb is here. He tweets that. But there's still no release date. And then he has Tim Burton in the artwork, and we don't know whether that's a movie or an album. I don't even know what I'm looking at. There's no clarity at all. And it's still not here if it doesn't have a release date. So I don't know, man. I just think that everybody's kind of, milking
Was it
their
15
opportunities,
hours ago.
which I'm
Yeah,
not
that's
mad
dope.
at that. But let's just not, I just don't like when people act like that's not what they're doing. It's okay to say, guys,
Just
shit's
think
kind of
so.
weird
Well,
right now.
the album's coming out January 16. We're helping with it, so that's all I know. No delays as
I know
of yet.
that. Well,
I think
I don't know if
public knows that. I think.
I don't think so. No. Well, yes.
Is it-
Wikipedia
Yeah, January
set to
16th.
release January 26th. Okay, so the
16.
pre-save link is out. Yeah, but excuse me,
Yeah.
January 16th.
Yeah. So it's out there. Whoo.
All right, well, that's good. So that's 13 hours. Yeah, but that happened 13 hours ago. So.
What, the updates? Well, no.
Yes.
I told you all about this a few
What?
weeks ago. That's
That's what I'm
coming
saying.
out
We knew
ASAP.
but they,
Yeah.
the
Well,
public
either
didn't
way,
know
look.
until.
I haven't even heard a record yet. There's one record. They did that thing with Apple Music, which kind of, but that was back in August, I think. Yeah. So they've been prepping for this. Oh no, was it back in August? No, I don't know when they put some record out with Apple Music, but I don't know if that's gonna be on the album. But we'll see. I mean, ASAP. He'll do his little numbers and
Oh,
stuff.
ASAP, man. I hope he hope he recovers
But
properly.
the game is different, man. Like these artists, like music is a platform to get on with, and I think they redefined it with the way. And I'll use guys like Post Malone, for instance, right? Like he used it as a gateway into other things. I mean, yeah, he's a musician, but he used kind of the platform of music to kind of get him to another level
Expose
as
his
a
branding.
celebrity and brand and all that type of stuff. So, look, I'm not against any of the things that they do or how they do their things. I think 21 had a fair, like being that it's the holidays and he was bold enough to drop on the holiday. I'm pretty sure the numbers will pick up as we head into the new year. But music ain't the same as it used to be, man. That's all I know.
I
It
know,
ain't the
bro.
same, man. Business ain't the same. And you can always complain about how things are going and how they should be, but look, that's look, Ebro ain't got a job because that's all they paid him for. They're like, yo, if you don't evolve and move, you ain't gonna, it's full circle, right? It's funny. We talk about the cancellation and pretty much why these motherfuckers are getting canceled now. Same with Rosenberg. Like, these guys did not evolve outside of their like, oh, it's 2001 or whatever, their golden era, my golden era. Like
2001.
yeah, like I'm just saying, like, bro, people used to be selling what 5 million records and shit, world tours and all types of shit, Ja Rule and 50 Cent and all this. Even 50's like, yo, fuck this. And it's funny, like 50 was ahead of the curve, like on the digital side. Remember that, like he was taking Bitcoin and doing all this stuff. This is 50.com. So, and music, he literally stopped doing music for money back when he saw that. How are you gonna top 2 albums that pretty much went diamond, like the first 2 albums, and you used every gimmick to get the second album popping. Arguably not as good as the first, but good enough. And you still had hype. What was that, 2007? What was it?
Yeah. And then
Massacre,
after
right?
that,
Was that Massacre?
Yeah, it was the Massacre. And then after that, it was a bunch of G-Unit ones. And then the one with Kanye, the Face Off with Kanye, was what year? The Curtis album.
No,
Curtis versus
that was
no.
So that was 2005 then. It's 2005 Massacre.
Massacre is 2005, right? And then there was a couple of G-Unit.
Yeah, Curtis was the one where they. Yeah, but he knew. So this is one thing that why 50's brilliant, because he's like, yo, I did. What'd he do? 800,000, almost 900,000 his first week as a rookie, right? His first album out, like his first real album out, right? 900,000 units. Went on to go diamond, classic record, fucking amazing, best record. Back like I could listen to every song on that record, like it's amazing, amazing album. Yeah. Good job. And then the second album came out a little more commercial, right? But did they make that a double album? I don't remember. Is that why it's sold? Or they made it some kind of bundle where you got you bought like a bunch of them and you get whatever. But they did decent numbers. I think he sold 100,000 less than what he did. Did he break 1 million? I don't remember. I'm not looking that up. He said, I'm looking it up now. Damn it! But I once he hit that thing with Kanye 2 years later when they did the thing, he undersold by 200K versus Kanye.
Right.
He knew the game was changing. They wouldn't try to hear no gangster rap anymore. The motherfucker with a cardigan beat him. And it's like, all right, so he shifted gears and started just doing movies and stuff. Come on, man.
Right.
It's real. That's
real.
He
was doing movies. He was doing a lot of movies then.
Yeah. He didn't take like a break or anything, but he did what he did. Like, let me see. They said here that joint ended up going diamond or something still, right? Like at this point, it should be diamond.
He's done well. I mean, he's done well, man. I mean,
I hope it did. That's a good record. Maybe sold 5 mil. I don't know. Oh, here we go. 7 times platinum. The Massacre's gone 7 times platinum, and album equivalent units at 6 million copies. United States, 1 million worldwide. Still one of the. Oh, here we go. It sold 1.1 million records the first 4 days of its release, according to Nielsen SoundScan.
Jesus Christ.
1.5. The only albums that ever beat him were Eminem's Marshall Mathers LP in 2000, which sold 1.76, and Mariah Carey's Emancipation of Mimi. I mean, up until that point, I think Taylor Swift in the streaming era has beaten them as equivalent albums. Massacre reached 300 physical sales as in 2005. That's when it came out. So by late April 2005, it sold 3 million records. And since then, it has sold 7 million equivalent units based off of SoundScan and streaming. So 7 million, that's better than most artists for a second album. He didn't have he actually exceeded his expectations on the second album. But they pulled out all the gimmicks for that, remember? Man, they did the bundle packs. They were like, you get a T-shirt and a bonus thing, and he did all the videos, everything.
And do you see Billboard changing again?
What, they changed it again now? You can't have like legacy music on the top 200.
I saw that.
So that kills hip hop in a sense, because you got to understand. See, this is what they do, man. Not to be all conspiratorial. If you see that legacy music that is a rap song that's 5 years old is still streaming better than a Taylor Swift song, that's just telling you that hip hop is relevant. it's just not in a great place right now. But like pop music, all this other stuff, there's a handful of pop artists. The Billie Eilish, the Taylor Swift, the who's the other one that's pretty like that new girl, the little blonde John. What's her name? Samantha Fox or something? Sabrina Carpenter.
Samantha Fox. No, I don't know who that is.
Sabrina Carpenter. You know, like these handful of people that carry these interesting like global fan bases still pop off. So and make money. But there's a lot of marketing behind the Taylor Swift, a lot of big productions behind all them things. Billie Eilish is always touring. All these people are like these big anomalies. Hip hop music, drum machine, late night studio. They don't have to put all this like extra shit. You know how many producers are behind one track for one of these bitches?
Yeah,
yeah.
Come on, bro.
A whole lot of songwriters.
It might cost a couple of $1 million to make one song that's gonna pop off. The marketing, the touring, the stuff they have to do for interviewing. It's a lot of money to make a pop artist pop.
Yeah.
Drake just needs to go in there and tell 40 to program something on the keyboard. That costs him 50 cents. Right? No, like make a couple dollars on of energy, and the talent just carries them from there. Right? The ghostwriters, everybody. So it's a different job, and it's on the charts for a decade. Like in the top 200, like the songs just pop up randomly in the top 200 every day for these guys.
Yeah, and now it's going to change. Okay.
Oh yeah, it's changing because they don't want to see hip hop win. They want people to forget that these songs exist. Because nobody really watches the charts, like, but
right,
you know. But
so
it's a
one
vanity
thing before
metric.
I got to jump is that streaming has killed everything. That's it.
Well, no. Stealing of the music is what allows streaming. So Napster, LimeWire, ShareBear, that's what killed
Spotify.
But they were still getting $1 million first weeks. Now here we are with streaming, and you over here talking about 21 Savage got 54,000 sales.
I mean, I agree, but that ain't got nothing to do with Dua Lipa.
You ever think like I never looked at it, but
it's a bigger demographic.
Streaming. The only reason why streaming is like looked at badly because it doesn't make as much money as a physical copy. So, but if you look at it from a popularity standpoint, if you're getting 100 million streams in the first week of a record, that means, let's just say, it's obviously you have your fans and stuff. There's tens of millions of people that legitimately went to listen to your music and give it a shot. Because how many times, I don't know, I think, Mike, you're probably too young for this, but Octavia, you bought a CD of an artist, maybe, and it had like, maybe a couple songs that you like. You're like, shit, I want to get the album and check it out. You buy it. You only listen to the 3 songs that you like. Now, obviously, you can listen to as much as you want, but people are actually giving albums a whole run through multiple times, and not necessarily picking and choosing, but creating their own little albums. Maybe they'll say, "Oh, these 5 songs are my favorite."
Yeah,
and then create. It's like I'm making their own little mixtape. So
to Mike's point, that's why I don't think streaming is what killed music.
Yeah.
I think playlisting. I think them pushing these program playlists. That is what killed. That's what killed the discovery of music. Now I think people are kind of going back to that, or they want to, right? They want to pick these 3 songs that make sense to me from this album, these 2 songs from this artist and this album, and make my own lifestyle playlist, my own thing. Programming is what killed discovery. That's just the way it is, man.
But is playlisting a part of streaming?
Yeah, it's a way
so streaming killed music.
But that's what I'm saying. But do we blame the antidote, or do we blame the virus? Do we blame the fix? Do you blame the stitches, or do you blame the knife? That's all I'm asking. Because we cannot be mad at Spotify for fixing a problem someone else created. The problem originated with the hackers. That's who killed music. Because now it'll never get back to its previous glory because we had to patch it. But the hackers are the one that stabbed you first, man. Not the bad nurse that did a bad stitch job on you. You gotta blame the guy that stabbed you at the club. That's my opinion. I can't blame the nurse for stitching me up with what she had, and now my scar is still keloid. I gotta blame the dude that stabbed me in the face. Because if he didn't stab me in the face, it wouldn't be no need for no nurse to stitch me up with thread versus whatever she's supposed to be using.
Yeah, so then you would blame the streaming platform because playlisting came from the streaming.
But that's a byproduct of a byproduct of the fault of someone else, the hackers. That's all I'm saying. I do think streaming has a place in mismanaging the development
No, they took that shit
of
over,
streaming.
bro.
Well, I mean, again, it's the music industry's fault for not having a hold on your product. So now, because you don't have a hold on your product, now you in a 360 deal. So you spend 40
Bro,
years
they don't
putting
even
artists in
pay a
360
cent.
deals. Yeah, that's what
They-
I'm saying. They getting abused. Listen, bro, they abused for 30 years. Now they are the abused. Now we're all in the same bucket.
All right. Well, on that note, I gotta jump. Streaming killed everything. I'll holler.
I don't.